side of TikTok, but I did, and it's nothing about the new bitter wife or the new stepmom and how much she hates the first wife and how bitter the first wife and baby mama is. And so I am an ex-wife and the mother of my ex-husband's child, and I'm here to clear some things up. One of the biggest misconceptions is that we want your man, or we want our ex-husband back, or we're bitter that he moved on. Now, are there some women like this? Yes, there are. However, the majority of the women, this is not true. I mean, do you guys not see posts of like these women saying like how much more independent they are now that they're not with their man, and how much clearer things are? There's so much social media now where you can find things out, find out that your man cheated. Women aren't as easily manipulated as they used to be. And in reality, a lot of the reasons why these relationships failed is because of cheating on both sides. There are many reasons why we're not with that man anymore, and we can promise you, you can keep him. That doesn't need to be the narrative of the story every single time you're trying to make a point about why the baby mom or why the ex-wife is so angry at you. That's always seems to be exactly where I feel like all these women go, and that has nothing to do with it. Y'all keep him. We're good. One of the reasons why the ex-wife may not like you is because she doesn't trust you. Maybe you and her ex-husband cheated together on the ex-wife. I think that everybody, it blows my mind that like these women want respect, but then they found, this man while he was still married to another woman, and then they automatically demand respect from these moms and these wives. And it's just mind-boggling to me, because half of them will say, well, it's the husband's fault, if he cheated, like that's on him, without taking any kind of responsibility at all. And that, to me, to say that like you had nothing to do with it when you did, is crazy. It just means to me that you don't want to take accountability. I don't find you as a loyal person. I don't find you as an honest person. And so therefore, how could I trust you? And why would I want those kinds of morals and values around my child? So if you are with the husband and you did cheat, or he did cheat on his wife with you, healing takes a long time. And I'm sorry that you have to go through it and that she has to go through it. But maybe if you showed her some kind of compassion or something, and maybe that might not even help, because it still would be like a big F you. I personally can say that I did get over it. I'll always feel some type of way about the situation, because it put me on my ass. I lost my home. I lost my car. I lost my family. I couldn't imagine thinking of just being with my daughter 50% of the time. I couldn't fight. I couldn't get up. I couldn't do things, and I hated them. And to ask that woman not to, while she's grieving and healing, is just beyond me. And the fact that like you don't care, or there's narcissistic beliefs on your side, means that it just kind of shows what type of person you are. So imagine that mom having to give her kid up to that side of the family, knowing that like she was destroyed. It just, I could go into detail about it for days. And I just remember being at a very, very, very dark place, and it was always about their feelings and never about mine. And like what he was going through, and never about me. It's like I was the one that got cheated on. I was the one that lost everything, like you chose this life. But sometimes people still play the victim no matter what their circumstance. Now, I also do want to say that, those women cannot stay in that. They can't live in that, because then they're just going to be unhappy and cause drama for the rest of their life and their kids' life. And that's just not healthy. Did I get over it? Yeah. Me and my ex-husband and his wife, like we can hang out now. We live close to each other. We can communicate for the most part. Sometimes you're still dealing with the same person, right? So all those issues that you have in your marriage, You think he's going to be any nicer to you outside of your marriage? Absolutely not. So like there's, we're arguing right now about, sleepovers. I don't believe in sleepovers. He does. And he made me out to be the bad guy to my daughter. And, it shows that we're not on the same page with parenting. And I hate that. And I didn't get any support from him for that. So that being the case, yeah, you're still going to argue. You're going to still have your mistakes. But at some point,
Okay. Um, so what I'm getting here is this, right? This woman is struggling with taking a loss because she lost, bro. She lost, right? Um, she divorced her husband, and the husband got married again, and she lost the house. She lost 50% of the children's custody, and she probably like lost everything that she thought like she was gonna leave with, after the divorce. She didn't leave with, she lost. So I that's what I believe, right? This is just my opinion. I believe that, like, she's struggling to take an L, like she's struggling to take a loss, because she's not used to it. And some people, they just struggle with taking losses, like, or taking an L, bro. Like, some people just struggle with doing that. Some people can do it, like, they can just heal, you know what I mean? They can just say, you know what, I lost, now it's time for me to heal, instead of going to the internet and making videos and talking bad about other people. Let's keep it pushing, though.
move on. Now, if you are a new wife and you met your husband after, like, the ex-wife and his relationship had ended, they didn't have anything to do with anything, maybe not like immediately post online that there's issues and stuff, and trying to immediately come out the gate saying all this mean, crazy shit about her. Maybe instead of like posting on social media, reach out to her and try to connect with her. I don't feel comfortable. Sometimes you have to make the first move, right? And if you're a woman and if you're a strong, independent person, and you care about the child, regardless of like who it is, yes, should it be the mom to reach out? Yeah, but if not, like, you should make that call, especially if you love the husband, especially if you love the child. Show that you want to extend that olive branch. Does she deserve it? No. But does anybody deserve grace? No. But if we didn't show it, then we would have nothing but a broken world. There's just so much hate, and it sucks because a lot of it is just hurt people. A lot of these women are just hurt on both sides. And if you were to just make that first step and make that first move by extending that olive branch, you'd be amazed at how we would treat you differently. I feel like I could go on and on for days about this. My mind is going to so many different places. Anyway, long story short, we don't want your man. You can gladly have him. There's no fight there. There's no argument. But instead of immediately posting on social media how much like you hate her, maybe like try reaching out to her. Maybe be like a good person. You think that just because you're the ex-wife, or you're the new wife, that you deserve all this respect. You decided to get into a relationship with this man. You decided to accept him and his baggage and his past. So you can't just go into it thinking like, oh, I'm going to do and say whatever I want to say. You still have to show people just as much respect. You still have to reach out, and make the moms feel comfortable, because those kids are staying with you. And you may think that that's not your responsibility, but because you agreed to marry that man, and he does come with the kids and a mom, like, you can. The biggest issue where I could see a mom wouldn't have any respect for you is when you tell his kids to call you mom. Especially if she's a good mom, and especially if she is, like, always involved. I worked with this girl who had they weren't even married, it was her boyfriend, had her boyfriend's kid call her mom, and like wondered why she always had drama with the mom, because that's not your role. That's you weren't even a wife then. Like, that's you were stepmom. And look, the wheel is round, so anything that they end up doing or however they got their man, that's how they're going to lose them. However you treat these kids, later on they're going to grow up with morals and values, hopefully good ones, and call you out for your bullshit. Thankfully, I don't deal with that. Again, I came from a really rough situation where my ex-husband cheated on me and he ended up marrying that woman. To this day, like I said, I love her. I think she's great for my daughter. I'm glad that she's kind to my daughter and she's always involved, even when it comes to like homework and stuff, you know. So there is forgiveness and you can move on and like you can move past all that hurt. So I guess this is both for like the new mom and the ex wife. But yeah, there's definitely forgiveness, because I don't ever want to live in what I used to live in. But it takes work. It takes a lot of work, and you got to be willing to do that.
Like I said, guys, um, she's struggling, bro. She's struggling with just, accepting the fact that, she lost, bro. You know what I mean? Life is a game, and, you win some, you lose some. That's how it works. You understand? You get into a relationship and it doesn't work out, whether it's your fault or the person's fault that you're with, in a relationship with. It doesn't matter. Like, you lose, you win some. At this point, she needs to accept that, I lost everything, and the husband is winning, got a new wife, they have a new family, they doing new things. She needs to accept it instead of coming to the internet and making videos and, talking slick, bro, because she's talking slick. But anyway, that's it for today. My name is RJ Godfella, and this is the RJ Godfella Chats. Now, if you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Peace. I'm out.